You've entered the vast marshlands of the Nin-in-Eilph with Nalia in order to escape Belloc and his orcs. Now you must cross the swamp in order to reach Hollin on the other side. Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression-style playthrough series of Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm playing the fourth quest from the Ringmaker cycle, the Nin-in-Eilph, in Nightmare mode. So, I did not take a mulligan on this hand. I figured starting with Elven Light is good, but actually, particularly for this quest, having the immediate Nenya and a bit more willpower from Galadriel's Handmaiden is particularly significant. Over here, I did take a mulligan, and this is decent. Steward of Gondor, well, I can't play it without Wizard Pipe, but it's nice to have. Well equipped, as soon as I see something worth sticking on Gimli, that can give me a bit of a boost. So, I guess the feint is also useful. So the Nightmare card, when the players advance to stage 2A, add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area from out of play or engaged with the player. This makes a big difference to the quest, bigger than one might expect. But, okay, so Nalia is over here. Ancient Marsh Dweller is a side out of play. Each player searches the encounter deck for a different location and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck. So, let's see. I definitely don't want to take Fens of Reeds, because I don't want to have to immediately exhaust characters. Peat Bog is more threat. There's another Nightmare one in here. Desolate Meadow, yes. While it's in the staging area, it gains force after any number of time counters are removed from the current quest. Heal 2 damage on each creature or enemy in play. That shouldn't be a problem, because the plan is to set up so that I can just kill anything in one hit. Beyond that, I think I'm going to take the Sinking Bog, because while I do have items, it's still the lowest threat option available. And that's significant right at the start, because I want to make sure I'm questing well so that I can be clearing locations and end up with an empty staging area. No traveller has entered the Nin-in-Eilph for an age, and there is no path through the shifting marshland. You must find your own way across the treacherous bog. When revealed, advance to a random stage 2A. So I'm going to open up the second quest deck and move stage 4 and all the stage 3s into it, so that now I can just shuffle the quest deck and advance. As you trudge through endless swamp, you begin to wonder if you will ever reach the other side. When revealed, raise each player's threat by 1. And now I find out which stage 2 I've got. Okay, each player cannot play more than one card each round. I might be totally screwed by this. This is, I would say, the worst option to start with, but I'm going to give it a try. So this is not actually my first attempt at this quest, but I had some bad luck. I have beaten this quest one time with these decks, the one time that I was not recording, so that was very helpful. Oh, and of course I advanced to stage 2, so Ancient Marsh Dweller is up here. Okay, it's 6th threat in the staging area. I'm tempted to just play well equipped immediately, because it'll discard the hidden cache, giving me 2 more resources. And I've nothing else particularly to play, so yeah, I'm gonna Go for it. And okay, that is an attachment which does not attach to a dwarf, so unfortunately it is lost. But there are 2 more copies of the Wizard Pipe, and I will add the 2 resources to Gimli. So next round, when I can play another card, oh no, wait. I don't have a Citadel plate. That was before I mulliganed. I had a Citadel plate. Okay, so then discard Elven Light to add a resource to Galadriel. That's not playing a card. Then getting that unexpected courage in right away could be pretty significant. Nenya is also important, but the thing with that is, well, I don't expect to complete this quest stage. I expect to spend some time powering up, which is made more difficult by the fact I can only play 1 card each round, but still I expect to spend some time powering up, and then maybe beat the next stage 2, or even the one after that. So the crux of that is, I don't care about making progress here. Which means Nenya is less relevant on this round. Next round, there will be an active location, probably this, unless I reveal something worse. Well, whatever. And then I will care about Nenya. So, with that being the case, this could be an opportune moment to play Galadriel's Handmaiden instead. It's still willpower. I mean, well, if that's the case, then, you know, either way around kind of works. I probably would do the Handmaiden first, because it's always going to be willpower, whereas Nenya, if I don't play Nenya, then I still have the option. Well, if I have the 2 willpower from the Handmaiden and that's enough, then I don't need to use Nenya and can use Galadriel's ability. On the other hand, also, Unexpected Courage. Getting Unexpected Courage in immediately could be very handy, so yeah. We have 6 threat in the staging area. Yeah, I guess getting willpower right away, just because while I don't care so much about making progress yet, I do care about not raising my threat, at least. So, that's noted. 6 threat in the staging area. I can send Merry. So that's 8 willpower. I think I probably prefer to leave it at that, in case of more enemies. And we reveal Deadly Marsh Adder. After it engages, discard a damaged character, and after the player's advance to a quest stage, return to the staging area. And Fen of Reeds. Once in the staging area, forced after the player's advance to a quest stage, each player must exhaust a character they control. So that's added 5 threat to the staging area. We use Nenya. So I make 1 progress, travel to the Fen of Reeds, and obviously I have to engage the Deadly Marsh Adder. So I'm going to defend with Gimli. Takes 2 damage. Attack with Gandalf and Nalia for 4, 2 damage. That's that. Nalia moves over here. Nalia at the beginning with refresh phase raises threat by 1 for each player in the game. So 2 points of threat there. Remove a time counter so the Desolate Meadow goes off. There was no point in me doing that attack, but it's fine. Control N. Okay, double back is great, but you know, I really can't afford to use up the 1 card I can play each round on double back. Discard Elven Light to add a resource to Galadriel. And yeah, then I think Galadriel's Handmaiden. Drop this deck's threat by 1. Okay. And I'm going to play King Under the Mountain onto Gimli. Okay, Shadowfax would be really useful. Oh, jeez. Shadowfax would be really useful, but Citadel Plate is really significant. I'm just going to check the deck list for this to see how many copies of Shadowfax I have, but I'm pretty certain I'm going to be discarding Shadowfax under these circumstances. Of course, I do have enough resources to play the Citadel Plate. I just can't play more than 1 card each round. So yeah, there are only 2 copies of Shadowfax, so it's a wrench to get rid of 1, but I will have to accept it. Oh yeah, and I removed a time counter, so I put a resource on the Ancient Marsh Dweller, which is +1 threat, so there's 7 threat in the staging area. So I quest 3, 6, 8, 10, and reveal swarms of mosquitoes and swarms of mosquitoes. So okay, if I exhaust Galadriel and Nenya, then I have 14 willpower, which makes 3 progress. I explore the Fen of Reeds. And actually I'm going to go to the Sinking Bog first, rather than the Desolate Meadow. And I guess I end up with this. Obviously Nalia can defend one of these. There's 1 defense for each attachment, that's fine. This is rough. Probably, in retrospect, I probably should have risked taking an undefended attack last round, because then, you know, rather than having Gimli defend, because then it would have put him to 6 attack immediately. I would have had a total of 10 attack. I could have just killed this deadly Marsh Adder, and then I would have less to worry about now. And if the shadow effect caused it to kill Gimli, well then I'd just start the quest again without having committed that much to it. But as it is, I already played a card this round, so no feint. I can't take both attacks undefended, and I can't get enough attack, so I have to have Gimli defend one, Gandalf defend the other. I guess Gimli will defend the mosquitoes. +2 attack means Gimli is dead. Okay, I'll just reset the quest. Alright. So, yeah, this hand I think is better. Immediate Wizard Pipe, Boots from Erebor to give a quick hit point boost. Steward King Under the Mountain. Over here, no Nenya, but I do have Galadriel's Handmaiden and 2 means of cancelling threat in the staging area, plus Elven Light, so I think I should stand a decent chance of still questing reasonably. So let's see which stage 2 quest I've got. Raise each player's threat by 1. Okay, player card effects cannot be used to gain resources or draw cards. This is, I would say, the middle of the 3 stage 2s. In my opinion, it might vary depending on what decks you're using, but in my opinion there's a definite hierarchy of which stage 2 is nicest, and this I would say is the middle one. And the one where you can only play 1 card per round is the worst. Although, well, also it depends on when you get them. I'm specifically focusing on right at the start of the game. Potentially a few rounds in, when you advance from one stage 2 to the next, then the the preference would kind of change. Okay, so I'm wary of immediately playing the Wizard Pipe because it is an item and I do have a Sinking Bog in the staging area. However, I will immediately play the Boots from Erebor. They are an item, but Gimli doesn't quest, is the thing. That's kind of the relevant point. I'm most worried about the Sinking Bog penalty to willpower because I need my willpower for questing. By combat, I may have travelled to it to get rid of the penalty, and the thing is, if I can stack up Gimli's hit points and get a bunch of damage on him, then it will potentially overcome the penalty anyway. So yeah, so the point is I'm wary of immediately playing the Wizard Pipe. Though I could, it would allow me to speed up my deck a little bit, at least. I could potentially play the Vassal of the Windlord. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for it. I could have played the Honor Guard instead, but I think I would rather do this. Okay, and I can potentially play that Feint if relevant. So now, discard Elven Light, add a resource to Galadriel. Then again, the immediate unexpected courage could be good. Definitely playing Nenya. And then for the other, it's either the Handmaiden or the unexpected courage. Yeah, I'm going to go for the unexpected courage. So, there is 6th threat in the staging area. Quest 2, 8, and reveal in need of rest. Okay, remove a hero from the quest, attach in need of rest to that hero. Okay, I guess it has to be Elrond. Merry's the lowest willpower, but he also has very few hit points. And okay. So for this one, I guess it has to be Arwen. I'm now questing for 2 against 6. So I'll just use Nenya. So I break even, travel to the sinking bog. But here's the thing, now I engage the ancient marsh dweller. I defend with Gimli. So Gimli takes 4 damage. Gimli is now 6 attack. 6, 9, 12, 13 is enough to kill the ancient marsh dweller. It goes to the victory display. It will be coming back, so I'm just putting it off to one side. But that means I don't have to worry about its threat in the staging area anymore, which means that my Mirkwood Pioneer and Radagast's Cunning are kind of superfluous at this point. Maybe I should have, in light of that, maybe I should have used Radagast's Cunning instead of Nenya. I would have failed the quest by 1, but been able to use Galadriel's ability. Although player card effects can't be used to gain resources or draw cards, I used Arwen. I shouldn't have been able to do that, so put that back. But yeah, that's a big part of my strategy there, is if I can get the, because the Ancient Marsh Dweller starts at 3 threat and gets +1 threat every time a time counter is removed, so it can quickly build up to being a lot of threat. Getting rid of it quickly, usually, I might expect to have gotten other enemies which I would have to worry about, but it happened that in this instance, the Vassal of the Windlord is discarded after the attack, I got exactly the right cards. The Vassal of the Windlord and the Unexpected Courage, plus the Boots from Erebor, making me feel just that little bit more secure about having Gimli defend the Marsh Dweller. Just everything lined up to make that work. Because of In Need of Rest, after a time counter is removed, attached hero takes 1 damage. And Control N. Okay. Can't afford Treebeard. Under the circumstances, obviously, I really have to play the Warden of Healing. Over here, okay. Okay, so here's the thing. I could immediately play Steward of Gondor, but player card effects cannot be used to gain resources or draw cards, so there'll be no point. What I can do, however, is Wizard Pipe King Under the Mountain onto the top of my deck. King Under the Mountain does not draw cards. It looks at the top 2 cards and adds 1 to the hand and discards the other. In this case, obviously, I'm going to discard the Hidden Cache and add Gandalf's Staff to hand. And when I discard the Hidden Cache, I add 2 resources to Gimli. I have just added Gandalf's Staff to my hand, so I will immediately play it. The only one of its effects that I can currently use is to discard a shadow card, but that's useful. I could play the Honor Guard, but it's possible I might want the Feint. And okay, it's just now occurring to me I could have used the Unseen Strike instead of the Vassal of the Windlord, but on the other hand, this quest has that treachery which deals damage to among each player's characters equal to the number of characters they control, so this is probably fine. There is 2 threat in the staging area. The Warden of Healing will quest without exhausting because of Galadriel, so I'll still send Mary. Questing for 9. Actually, no, I am going to play the Honor Guard. Purely because there are effects which remove additional time counters. If 2 time counters are removed during the quest phase, then Arwen would die. And I would rather... On the other hand, if only 1 is removed, then it's more efficient healing-wise because of Elrond's boost to healing. So, Giant Swamp Adder. And low on provisions. Okay, each player must assign X damage among characters he controls, where X is the number of characters that player controls, as I said. So, if I still had the Vassal of the Windlord, it would count towards the total, but it only has 1 hit point. As it is 4 and 5. So, bearing in mind Elrond's boost to healing, 4, and I think 5 like that, and then I use the Warden to heal these. Well, no. I should wait and see. So, we're up to 5 threat in the staging area. I make 4 progress. In the circumstances... Well, again, Galadriel could lower threat, but she can't actually draw cards right now. So yeah, I think it's worth adding in her willpower so that I can explore the Sinking Bog. The progress on the quest is probably irrelevant, but exploring the active location is significant. And now, yeah, I can just discard shadow cards, so this is entirely predictable. Gimli takes 1 damage. I will be healing Arwen and Elrond. And attack for 10, which kills the Giant Swamp Adder. The staging area is empty. This is exactly what I want. The easiest way to not have to worry about a bunch of the negatives is if there's just nothing in play. So, I get 2 points of threat for Nalia. And okay, King Under the Mountain. Well, obviously I'm going to keep Legolas, discard the spare King Under the Mountain. And unfortunately I can't use Gandalf's staff to gain a resource, so actually I just realised in retrospect I didn't use the Honor Guard last round. I knew that I would be able to discard the Shadow card from the Adder, so I could have used the Honor Guard to cancel the 1 point of damage to Nalia. so I should have done that. Okay. So yeah, I'm not playing anything right now. I can't afford Legolas or any of the leadership cards. Over here, Hasty Stroke would be nice to have the resource available for. I could take the opportunity to play Treebeard, but I think I'll just play Galadriel's Handmaiden. Drop this deck's threat by 1. Just have that extra willpower available. And now, with an empty staging area, I guess I'm just going to quest for 8. And reveal. Okay, Quicksand. When revealed, either remove 1 time counter from the current quest or remove each character with 3 or more willpower from the quest. I will remove the time counter, which will deal damage to Arwen and Elrond. And I now advance to a different stage 2A at random. So, I'm going to shuffle these, put the one that I've just left on the bottom, and reveal, which raises each deck's threat by 1 and adds the Ancient Marsh Dweller back to the staging area from out of play. And this is the Nightmare one. This is the one which I personally think is actually the nicest to get right at the start of the game. Allies enter play exhausted. You can kind of deal with that. It doesn't restrict... Basically, it doesn't restrict your ability to just put a load of useful cards into play. It just means that some of them may take an extra round to be useful. Of course, if you're using Ents, which in some cases I am, then you're fine. They enter play exhausted anyway. They can't enter play exhausted twice over. It's not actually possible. But now I can use player card effects to gain resources and draw cards. And of note, that Treachery, it removed a time counter, which, because I'd gotten rid of the Ancient Marsh Dweller, the only effect it had other than moving me onto a different stage was in need of rest. So, second card of staging, Peat Bog. Okay. While it's in the staging area, forced after the player's advance to a quest stage, each player discards 1 random card from their hand. So there is 6 threat in the staging area. I could use Radagast's Cunning here. Okay, I'm going to use Elven. I'm going to discard Elven Light to add a resource to Galadriel, finally. Because obviously I want to explore the Desolate Meadow, so I can then travel to the Peat Bog. Or of course I could just use Nenya. And now it's more plausible that I might actually just complete this quest stage and advance to stage 3 rather than going around again. So bearing that in mind, the progress from the extra progress that I'd get by using Nenya would not be wasted. It's just a question of if I want to lower threat, draw cards, which I kind of do. So yeah, no, I think I'll just do the Radagast's Cunning, cancelling the threat of the Ancient Marsh Dweller, which is non-immune to player card effects. So I make 5 progress and explore the Desolate Meadow. I'll travel to the Peat Bog, and I'm going to engage the Ancient Marsh Dweller because no other enemies. Wizard Pipe Feint onto the top of my deck and play it so the Ancient Marsh Dweller does not attack. I'll use Gandalf's Staff to add a resource to Gimli. Galadriel will exhaust to have this deck lower its threat by 1 and draw a card. Vilya is a good card. And now I'm going to play Unseen Strike to give Gimli +3 attack against enemies with a threat higher than engagement cost higher than my threat. So I attack for 7, 10, 13, sending the Ancient Marsh Dweller back to the victory display. And I use the Warden of Healing to heal Elrond and Arwen, and then I'm going to pay 2 law resources to ready the Warden again and heal these 2 just in case of that treachery, which deals damage equal to the number of characters you have. Did this deck somehow get an extra point of threat from somewhere? Oh no, right, yeah, I targeted a handmaiden. That's fine. Okay. And Control N. There's damage, and the time counter is gone. Okay, Vilya again. So I'm going to pull Elven Light back to my hand. Test of Will, okay, discarding Elven Light again. Play Vilya. And I might want to just use Vilya blind, but I'll have to think about it. Okay, so now Wizard Pipe. Gimli will be the Steward of Gondor. Okay. King Under the Mountain. I'm going to keep the Well Equipped, discard the Vassal of the Windlord, give Gimli the Grappling Hook, and play Ally Legolas. So once again the staging area is empty. Don't have a huge amount of willpower is the thing. That's the big kind of downside to potentially just doing a blind Vilya. Oh, Ally Legolas and just play exhausted. That would just be 5, 7. I do have the grappling hook as an option as well, so I think I'm gonna give it a try. Darren's Runes, Hasty Stroke, and Galadriel's Handmaiden. Okay. So I'm questing for 2, 5, 7 against an empty staging area, revealing a desolate meadow and a deadly marsh adder. Right. This is a bit of a problem, because of course after deadly marsh adder engages you discard a damaged character you control. But I should be able to find a way to deal with it, I think. So, right, there's 5 threat in the staging area. I am currently making 2 progress. Going to use Nenya to make that 6 progress. Travel to the desolate meadow. Now, if I use Gandalf's staff to add a resource to Galadriel or Elrond, it doesn't matter either way, I can then use the Warden of Healing and ready the Warden of Healing to fully heal this deck, and I could heal Gimli as well. I'm going to heal Gimli for 1, just in case of emergencies, but leave it at that. Gauge the Deadly Marsh Adder. I have no damaged characters to discard. And I guess I will defend with Nalair. Okay, Nalair takes... well, I can cancel 1 point of damage. So he takes 1 damage. Time counter is removed. Dealing damage to these 2. Shadow card is discarded. Unfortunately, no ranged yet. Control N. Okay. Oh, and Nalair is back over here. Okay, I found a Stargazer, that's good. 2 extra points of threat from Nalair. Playing well equipped. Giving Gimli his Citadel plate. And discarding the hidden cache. I'm going to add the resources to Gandalf. Because this way I don't need to get a resource from Gandalf's staff to give Gimli the Dunedain cache, making him ranged. Use King Under the Mountain, discarding the hidden cache. This time I add the resources to Gimli. Give him a 2nd grappling hook. Okay. Over here, actually no, there is no point in me playing the Stargazer. In fact, there is no point in me playing any ally right now, because next round I will be on a different quest stage, one way or another. And on that quest stage, allies will not enter play exhausted. So there's no point in me playing an ally who will enter play exhausted, so that I then can't actually use them until next round, when I could just play them next round and still have the resources this round. So I could pull Elven Light back to my hand and then discard it to gain a resource. I could discard something else to gain a resource and then play Treebeard. Then I wouldn't have a resource for cancellation, but I could get one from Gandalf's Staff. I kind of like that idea, so I'm going to discard the Mirkwood Pioneer and get an extra resource from Gandalf's Staff as well. And play Treebeard, the one ally who does matter to play now because he enters play exhausted anyway. So, no threat in the staging area. I am going to quest with Elrond this time. So, 3, 6, 8, 10. And reveal. Rotten Stench. Return the topmost location in the encounter. Discard parts of the staging area. Till the end of the phase, each location in the staging area gets +1 threat. That's probably okay. And Remnants of Elder Days. Each player must search the encounter deck and discard path for a creature enemy and put it into play engaged with him. Shuffle the encounter deck. This effect cannot be cancelled. It's very annoying that it cannot be cancelled, but okay. So, giant swamp adders. Guess go with giant swamp adders. Doesn't add threat to the staging area, so that is +1 threat from the treachery. I'm making 6 progress. Just the one there. If I were to use a grappling hook and Nenya, then I could advance to stage 3 right now, which would mean each player would discard a random card from hand, and the Deadly Marsh Adder would return to the staging area, as would the Ancient Marsh Dweller. Not sure that it's worth it. The Ancient Marsh Dweller, sorry, the Deadly Marsh Adder rather, is a problem. Sending it back to the staging area would mean I would again have the problem of engaging it. I mean, I can deal with it with healing, but it's nice to keep the healing flexible. So I think I just leave it. I accept that I'll be going to another stage 2. Now, okay. So Gimli has max hit points of 10. So yeah, I take this undefended. Defending character, there is no defending character. 3 damage to Gimli. I have 1 feint. And I have to take this undefended. Again, there is no defending character, so that's okay. Heal those. Oh, actually, I could have cancelled 1 point of damage, so... Right. Giant Swamp Adder's attack when time counters are removed, but the Deadly Marsh Adder, as mentioned, will go back to the staging area when the quest advances, so, and cause problems. So yeah, I attack 1. Yeah, I do kind of want to... No, I don't think I care about drawing extra cards with Legolas, so I'll just attack 1 for 7. And now Gimli, who is ranged from the Dunedain Cache, attacks for 9 and takes out both of these. Galadriel targets this deck. So, okay, let's do this one step at a time for once. Naya moves, threat, control R. Last time counter is removed, which means Swamp Adder makes an attack. Yeah. You know, I could discard the shadow card, then take it undefended, cancelling 1 point of damage with the Honor Guard. That would work. And then Gimli would be up to 11 attack. Or I could take it undefended and rely on the Warden of Healing. Which I could use Gandalf's Staff to add a resource so that I could ready the Warden and still have him for this coming round. Yeah, I'm going to take it undefended. Okay, and I'll just use the Honor Guard. So there we go. And I am advancing to a different stage 2 quest at random. Which means which deck raises the threat by 1. Threat is a concern. Okay, each player can't play more than 1 card each round. That's not such a big deal at this point, because I have a bunch of stuff already in play. So, Suit of Gondor, King of the Mountain. A second Dunedain Cache could be useful, so I'll hold on to it. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to play Daeron's Runes. Okay, right. This is the one reason why it could have been relevant to play the Stargazer last round. I think I have to, under the circumstances, I have to just kind of save for my potential cancellation. I'm going to use the Warden of Healing now and ready him, I think. Actually, no. Yes. So, okay. Empty staging area. Quest 3, 6, 8. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot about this deck's planning. I mean, Halfling Determination could be useful, but... yeah, this thing, Halfling Determination definitely could be useful. I'd kind of like to put a Dunedain Cache onto Merry, but, I mean, again, that's kind of just a just-in-case thing. So I think I probably just leave it. I could also put Boots from Erebor onto Merry, but I think Halfling Determination is more likely to be the useful thing. And I am going to send Merry on the quest. So, okay, questing for 10. Reveal Giant Swamp Adder and Fen of Reeds. Okay, so 5 threat. So I'm making 5 progress without doing anything extra. So, if I were to use a grappling hook right now, I would advance the quest. The one reason that I'm not sure about doing that is the Fen of Reeds. Each player must exhaust a character they control. I might be able to still deal with that though, and then I'd be able to play more cards. Yeah. Oh, right, yeah. I'd also be a little short on attack, so one of the Swamp Adders would live. But of course threat is starting to become a concern. So yeah, okay. I exhaust Gimli, discarding a grappling hook to commit him to the quest using his attack instead of willpower. His attack is 11. So get rid of those other 2 stage 2 quests and move over the stage 3 quests. Shuffle them. Lost as you are, your presence in the marsh has not gone unnoticed. An ancient and foul swamp creature stalks your company. Raise each player threat by 1, add ancient marsh dweller to the staging area from out of play or engage with the player, and heal all damage from it. And because I advanced to quest stage, I have to. Each player must exhaust a character they control. I'm actually going to do the Warden. And which stage 3 have I got? As if the swamp itself was not bad enough, its foul denizens swarm around you, their serpentine forms slithering through the murky water that rises to your waist. This, under my present circumstances, this is definitely the worst option. Each enemy in the staging area gets minus 20 engagement cost, because that means I will have to immediately engage the ancient marsh dweller as well as the giant swamp adder. And I just... exhausted my Warden of Healing. I don't have a Feint. Honor Guard is already exhausted. I've really screwed this up. Okay, so... I do have Shadow Cancellation. That is a thing. If I engage both enemies with this deck, then I have defenses from Treebeard and Nalair. And this Swamp Adder can be defended by Gandalf like I was originally planning. I can't take out the Ancient Marsh Dweller immediately. Can I use Galadriel? Okay, Arnor's Council is something. Yeah, I think I have to go with that. So Nalair defends this. No shadow, 1 damage. Treebeard defends this. Defending character cannot ready until the end of the round. Okay, that's annoying, but I can deal with it. Gandalf defends this, deal 1 damage to defending character. Okay. Still have Gandalf's staff. I'm going to add a resource to Galadriel. Gimli is going to attack at ranged. Kill the giant swamp adder. Okay, Nalair moves over here. 2 extra points of threat. Time counter is removed. Control R. Giant swamp adder is attacking. I'm going to use Camden Mountain right now. Boots from Erebor are not that big a deal. I'd rather have the extra Honor Guard. I'm going to defend this attack with an Honor Guard. +1 for each time counter on the quest. The Honor Guard is dead. Control N. Properly into a new round. Okay, double back is nice. Gonna play the... I'm going to Wizard Pipe and then play the new Honor Guard. Okay, not finding much that's useful to me. Play that last grappling hook, though I don't think it's ever going to matter. So in fact, don't play it just in case of sinking bogs. Here I'm going to play Elven Light, draw a card. Okay, Darren's Runes. Draw 2, discard Elven Light, play double back, definitely want to play Stargazer. And I guess the Handmaiden. Actually, use the Stargazer immediately. Okay, there is not a Galadhrim's Greeting in there, which is what I was really looking for, but the extra Warden of Healing would be potentially good. So would the Elrond's Council. And then either Quick Beam or Handmaiden. Over here I don't have a Feint, which I would really like to have. I should have added a resource to the Marsh Dweller. And dealt damage to Arwen and Elrond. I think I play the Handmaiden. Drop this deck's threat by 1. Used 2 Feints, so there is still 1 left. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that shadow card obviously should be discarded. Empty staging area. Questing to double back. Do I Vilya that Warden of Healing? 3, 5, 7, 9. Yes, I do. So 10. And reveal Desolate Meadow. That's fine. Low on provisions. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9 damage for this deck. I can't do that without killing characters. I'm just going to cancel it. So I've added 2 threats to the staging area. I'm just going to use the Elrond's Council now. So I make 9 progress. Maybe I shouldn't have. Yeah, actually, I think I shouldn't have. I was fine anyway. Travel to the Desolate Meadow. Okay. so Gandalf can defend this. Oh, right. Oh, hang on. I meant to add a resource so that I would have it for a hasty stroke if necessary. Also, Galadriel this deck. But actually, I don't need to cancel that. I can do the second defense with Nali. Takes 1 damage. Now, yeah, I'm going to throw the Handmaiden under the bus. Okay, so now I have all this healing. Gimli can kill the giant swamp adder. Gimli and Legolas combined are 14 attack and can kill the ancient marsh dweller, which of course, again, will come back, but it will come back without any resources on it, which is significant. So Control N. Use the Stargazer. There we... Okay, no, I'm going to have that first. Then next round, the greeting. I think. Okay, so over here I'm definitely playing Shadowfax, also Boots from Erebor onto Merry. The spare Gandalf stuff there. Wizard Piper, Halfling's Determination, so that I can just play that on a guard. Okay, right, yeah, so discard Elven Light and then actually pull the Elven Light back to hand to draw the Unexpected Courage, play the Unexpected Courage onto Elrond, then exhaust Elrond and Vilya to play the Galadriel's Greeting, drop this deck's threat down to 36. Yeah, actually pay 1 from Treebeard and 1 from Galadriel for Quick Beam. Deal the damage to him to ready him. And okay. Empty staging area. Questing 3, 6, 8, 10, 12. I can ready him if necessary. $14, $17. Seems reasonable to me. Okay. Surge, remove one time counter. I'm okay with that. Removing a time counter deals damage to these two, and I go to a different stage 3 quest at random. Which means raising each deck's threat, returning the Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area, but with no resources. And okay, treacheries can't be cancelled now. Right. That's surged, so Deadly Marsh Adder. Okay, and Peat Bog. So 3, 6, 9 threat in the staging area. I am making 8 progress as it stands. I would need another 13 to advance the quest. Play these 2 Elrond's cancels. Drop to 35 threat. Boost willpower to 19. Use the grappling hook for an extra 11. I'm making 21 progress, and I advance the quest. Which does mean, for the Peat Bog, each player discards 1 random card from their hand. So random discard Halfling Determination, and random discard Hasty Stroke. Should be fine. So, beyond all hope, you have reached the edge of the swamp. You can see the gentle rise of hills in the distance, but the huge marsh dweller that has pursued your company now lies between you and dry land. When revealed, add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area from out of play or engaged with a player and heal all damage from it. Then Ancient Marsh Dweller makes an attack against each player in player order. So, and then of course I'm going to want to engage it, which will mean another attack. Just as a side note, I'm just going to play this Halfling Determination. In fact, I'll play it in the quest phase and have 2 more progress, though I don't really need. Let's Galadriel this deck. Or actually no, I'm going to play the well-equipped from the top of my deck in the travel phase. Oh, hey, a Citadel plate. I was just trying to dig through my deck looking for that feint. Which means I found the feint without using Galadriel, so actually I should Galadriel this deck instead. Right, so I have the feint. which means I can cancel the attack in the combat phase, but not the attacks that it's making right now. So Gimli's maximum HP is up to 14. With healing and honor guards, I could actually have him take an attack here, undefended. Well, here's this deck first. So, okay. Yeah, honor guards are a thing which I have to bear in mind. Oh no, I'm not over 40 threat anymore. But yeah, I guess there's a simple way. I'll just ready Treebeard and have him defend. Okay. I'll cancel 1 point of damage. And yeah, I'll just have Gandalf do this one. Plus 1 attack. So 7 attack. Oh, I guess I'll still cancel 1. And yep. The many groping tentacles of the swamp creature grab at you. You must defeat this beast if you are to escape the Nin-in-Eilph. So actually no. Actually, no. Yeah, this is. No. I take back cancelling the damage on Gandalf. Actually, thinking about it, I shouldn't have cancelled the damage on Treebeard. I should instead have cancelled 2 damage to Gandalf. So now let me just calculate this quickly. Okay, so I exhaust the Wardens. Healing here, here, here. And here. Travel to the peat bog, because why not? Optionally engage the ancient marsh dweller. The deadly marsh adder will engage here anyway. Discarded Treebeard from play. Faint the ancient marsh dweller, because again, not immune to player card effects. Let's just discard the shadow card here. Defend it with quick beam. Quick beam dies. And I can still attack for 1, 4, 13, which is exactly enough for the Ancient Marsh Dweller. I might have been able to... I could have potentially done even better. Given the Unseen Strike, I could have potentially healed more from Gimli if I had more uses of the Wardens. I could have staffed a resource onto Galadriel. I don't think the... but, I mean, just to be sure. So, I win the quest. No progress is needed to be here, I just needed to defeat the Ancient Marsh Dweller. And there we go! It's, yeah. This is always kind of an interesting quest. Nightmare. Well, that was a weird play of it, because usually I wouldn't be able to just immediately engage and kill the Ancient Marsh Dweller right at the start of the game like that. It was, as I said, the precise correct lining up of cards in my opening hands. The Unexpected Courage and the Vassal of the Windlord, or Unseen Strike also would have worked, and the fact that I didn't reveal any other enemies. And without that, the Ancient Marsh Dweller sits there, keeps contributing threat, keeps contributing more threat as you remove time counters and add resources, which increases its threat. And that's where obviously my Radagast's Cunnings and Mirkwood Pioneers would have come into play, cancelling out that threat so that I could still quest. And eventually it would reach the point where I would kill the Marsh Dweller to get rid of its threat from the staging area and at least remove all the resources, even though the thing itself would come back when I came to a different quest stage. So usually that was much more of a back and forth thing, but it just happened the way that my decks and the encounter deck fell out in this playthrough, that it was just repeatedly Ancient Marsh Dweller enters play, Ancient Marsh Dweller is killed. Still, very satisfied with that. If you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.